Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Leo, how you been? How you doing? I hope you're well. Leo, I just did a reading for you yesterday. You're probably wondering why they're coming up back to back, but yesterday's reading was for the week ahead. This one is for the whole month. So we're looking into May of 2025 to see what might be coming up for you in the month. I've got some oracles. We're going to look at these first. We're going to throw some tarot on it and get some details. Welcome here, Leo. If you've never been here before, I do this reading once a month for all of the zodiac, every sign of the zodiac. And usually it comes out close to the end of the month. So it's happening today. We're using the archetype deck. I haven't used the archetype deck in a while. So this is sort of the energy that you're going to have to be in to endure whatever is going to come at you, be thrown at you in the month of May. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo, please. We've got the Alchemist. I like that. And the Storyteller. The Alchemist, it says transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Look, the Alchemist takes all of the pain that they've been through and transmutes it into power. And I feel like that's the energy that you're going to be in for the month of May. It doesn't matter how many arrows are shot at you. You're going to catch them in the air like some sort of superhero. It feels like you are the alchemist. You will be catching whatever people throw at you, and you will be making something good of it. We've got the Storyteller, and the Storyteller says the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Oh, that's very cool. It feels like you are going to be teaching other people about how you became an alchemist. The alchemist is the magician, right? The person who took all of the tools and used them the way they should in order to be able to use, to gain, have gain in their life, even though they were going through a difficult time. This deck is going to be for the overall energy for the month. Tell me about this overall energy for Leo for the month of May. What sort of energies is Leo dealing with in the month of May, please? Tell me about Leo. We've got a deep knowing. I like it. This is intuitive energy, right? Card number 43 is a 7. You're getting downloads from the universe. For me, 7s are heaven. It's divine intervention. It's good, I would say, luck. I don't believe in luck, but it feels good that you're getting divine intervention. You're going to have some sort of a deep knowing about something here. Something is changing. We do have the the owl here, and when owls show up, it's about transformation, and it does feel like deep down, you know that something is going to happen. If you are the alchemist, you are probably someone who's highly intuitive. The deep knowing for me is a Pisces thing. You could have a Pisces placement, but you don't have to. I feel like Leo is intuitive enough or psychic enough in order to have some kind of deep knowing here. Bottom of the deck, we have flexible. Well, the F word, Leo. You're not real good at it, just saying. But we have card number 19. Look, 19 is the sun in tarot, and that is your energy. I feel like, you're going to have to be flexible with it, whatever is showing up. And I feel like because you're the alchemist, it might not be as hard as we think it is. 1 and 9 is a 10. 10s break down to a 1, and that's the beginning of something. You might have to be flexible in some sort of new start or new beginning. And at the beginning of something, we're all the fool, right? We're all like, we don't really know what's going on. We don't really have all of the information. So it feels like the reason you'll have to be flexible is because there might be a new cycle that's starting for you here. But I feel like with the sun here, it feels like you are going to see everything under the sun. Card 19 being the sun in tarot. I feel like you're going to see everything clearly and be able to make really good decisions. This deck we are going to use for the monthly energy. So the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month is what we're looking at here. Tell me about Leo. What can Leo expect? We're going to clarify these ones with tarot so we can get a little more information. Tell me about Leo. Tell me what's coming up for Leo. We've got hope. Oh, it's good. Card number 17. So this is the star, right? From the star in tarot. This is hope. So it feels like I was just talking about the sun, and it does kind of look like it's the sun more than a star, but it does say that there's a lot of healing, deep healing that's going on for you here while you're in this moment of alchemy. 17 comes after the tower, so I feel like you've been through some sort of tower, maybe some hardship, and you've learned to alchemize your pain into things that are working out for you, into new beginnings. And I feel like you already have some sort of a deep knowing that you're going to come through this just fine. Feels like you're going to be getting downloads from the universe. Tell me about the middle of the month. We have the shadow. Very interesting. 17 and 18, they follow each other, right? It goes from night to day. It feels like something flips on its head. It feels like May is going to be very different from April for you. It feels like something you're going to probably be facing your shadow, possibly. And the shadow is all the things that are really, really deep, right? So, maybe having an argument about something that seems trivial on the surface may not be the deep-seated issue. It's like yelling at the cashier because the prices are wrong. But really, why are you arguing with the cashier? It's from something deeper, right? It's a deeper wound. And so I feel like you are healing the shadow, integrating the shadow, I would say. If you don't know what that means, then please go look at Carl Jung, and he will about the shadow, about integrating the shadow, and he'll explain that to you. All right. We've got the Trapped in Fear card, the 8 of Swords at the end here. We've got temptation. Oh, interesting. It almost feels like somebody here is trying to give up a temptation. So maybe it's, temptation could be anything, right? It could be passion. It could be overeating. It could be anything, really, temptation. I feel like you're trying to withdraw from some sort of temptation. It could be shopping too much. It could be eating too much. It could be any of the addictions that you put in your body, right? Alcohol, like all of those things, food. It feels like there's a clearing of your energy, like a clearing of the shadow energy. And I feel like this is the end of it. That you are then, once you clear the energy through healing the shadow, then you're going to be tested at the end of it. Because look, there's no point in getting the lesson if you're not going to be tested at the end. It goes through school, and that's the way the universe works as well. I'm going to teach you, and you're going to learn, and then I'm going to tempt you with all the things that you gave up in order to heal the shadow, is what it feels like here. We're not doing this one yet. We're going to do clarifying first. All right. Oh, Chariot's upright. Okay. So it looks like we've got some sort of victory and balance coming in for the month. Tell me about hope. Tell me about the star. The fact that the star is here tells me that in the past, possibly last month, you endured some sort of a major tower. It feels like it is here to clear up any, I would say, any questions you might have of things that aren't as they seem. It feels like this hope here is going to give you. I feel like the shadow is like you facing yourself, and I feel like the hope is shining light on it. So I feel like you're starting to get some sort of deep knowing here. Tell me about hope or about the star, please. We've got the Queen of Swords. Yep. It feels like there is some sort of an honest or truth. It feels like you are liberating yourself and just speaking your truth. I feel like the fact that the star is here tells me you're doing it in a very healing way, but I feel like somebody here is liberating themselves in order to heal. So I feel like you're just telling people how it is. And I don't feel like you're wanting to ruffle any feathers, Leo, but I feel like you're just going to be honest and truthful here. We've got the Knight of Wands. and we've got the Knight of Pentacles, two very different knights. So it feels like the healing part that's going on here is maybe you've gone from this Knight of Wands energy where maybe you were running at things, maybe you were taking risks, maybe you were taking brave risks, or being very bold in the way that you moved, and maybe you were moving really quick. I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles here, with the Queen of Swords, it feels like that's being healed. I feel like you're now seeing the value of holding back or being patient, and not necessarily running at something that you don't have all of the details about, all of the analytics, all of the information and the pertinent details. I feel like you're becoming more analytic of the mind, and I feel like this Knight of Wands energy is being healed through the star energy. It feels like you are coming into this place of golden wisdom. That's what it's talking about here, right? It says transformation of base motives. And I feel like some of the base motives came from temptation and goals into a golden wisdom. So it feels like you are alchemizing the mind, because the star is Aquarius energy. And the Queen of Swords is here, right? Clarity of the mind. Putting up boundaries between you and people who are taking runs at you. When I see Pentacles up next fire, it could be like maybe you're just not going to do the dating scene anymore. Maybe you're just going to hold back and wait for the right one to show up. But it feels like in the future, you're going to be moving a little slower and more analytically. You could be someone who possibly is a Leo Virgo cusp, and maybe you are somebody who's going to be leaning a little bit more on the Virgo energy. Maybe you do have a Virgo or an Aquarius Libra placement possibly. Tell me about the shadow. Feels like you're facing yourself in the middle of the month. We do have the Page of Cups. We do have the Three of Wands. We've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Death card. We've got the Six of Cups here. Interesting energies here for you. It's a lot of transformation. Things are about to change for you, but it feels like they're changing because you want to change. The deep knowing, the alchemist, the healing that you're going through, that you're going to slow down a little bit and get a little bit more analytical, get a little more clarity of the mind. You're going to be liberating yourself from situations that move too fast, or from fiery situations. Maybe it's running into relationships, running into jobs that you know that are temporary. With the Page of Cups here, with the Three of Wands, it feels to me like you know that you are going to have to make amends with someone here in the future. It does feel, the Page of Cups is feeling to me like an apology. And it feels like the deep knowing that you have now with the alchemist energy, it feels like there's no way I can't say sorry. Now that you realize now what you didn't realize before, because there's been transformation. And now you're in the Nine of Pentacles. So you're in this energy of feeling really abundant. You're in a really good place, very stable place, very confident place. And I feel like you've made it through this moon energy. You have more confidence in transformation. You have more confidence that I feel like you're transforming into somebody who is feeling a lot more stable about who they are, about their alchemy, about the moon energy. You feel, it's like you've walked through hell. So it feels like you have come from a place that is really hard and it was dark. And I feel like the Death card is breaking you out of that. It feels like it's the end of the moon energy. So clarity comes in. It feels like it comes from your healing. It feels like you are realizing now that maybe some apologies are in order. Maybe saying sorry for something that maybe you said quickly out of fire. Right? Knight of Wands is here. Maybe it's something that you said quickly, and now that you've had a chance to analyze it, it's time thinking into the future. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe it's time for me to look into the shadow work as to why I said that. And it may have been something that you said in a moment and in the heat of the moment, but it feels like it is something that has got you up in your head. Tell me about trapped in fear. For Leo, please tell me why Leo might be trapped in fear at the end of the month. And the eight of swords is really about overthinking things. I feel like you think that you've made some sort of an error, maybe an error in judgment, or maybe you couldn't see all the details because the moon energy is here, and it feels like you're transforming yourself into becoming this, I'm looking at the Nine of Pentacles as being a little more responsible, being a little more solid, looking at the details of everything, and being confident enough to realize and to say so. Maybe I did it in a moment of weakness, right? Maybe I said something in the moment of weakness. Tell me about trapped in fear. We've got the Eight of Wands. We've got the Ace of Wands. And we've got healing the stars here, which is here. We have the Ace of Cups here. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Because the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So very practical, analytical way of telling someone, look, I just want to make things right. It, to me, does not feel like love. I'm just going to be honest. It feels like maybe a love of money for some of you, but it does feel like it's a new day of you opening your heart, is what it feels like. So we've got this trapped in fear, and I think the trapped in fear part is that the Ace of Wands is here with the star, and it feels like there is a creative or exciting new path that's showing up here, but we also do have the Nine of Wands, right? Which I think is the trapped in fear part. So it feels like you're overthinking something that is going on in the month, and it might be this whole thing here. You're overthinking something. This is something that is about to change right around the corner. It feels like with the Ace of Wands that there is some sort of an exciting new door that's opening for you here, but it's going to require for you to be flexible of the mind, and that means you're going to have to get out of the Eight of Swords in order to do it. I feel like the star energy shows up here. It's an analytical energy, but also a healing energy. Analytical because it's Aquarius energy. And the water bearer is here, right? It feels like you are finding some sort of balance between overthinking it and feeling like the wounded warrior. The Ace of Wands shows me that there is a door opening here, and that there is something that is showing up that is exciting, that is going to pull you out of the Eight of Swords. I feel like you're going to be healed from the Eight of Swords, honestly. All right. Let's take a look at some advice. Tell me about the advice for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I feel like this deep knowing that you have, this deep knowing of this Death card here. It feels like there is some sort of transformation going on here with this deep knowing. Tell me more. Advice for Leo says life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be helped or needs to be healed. So we did talk about healing, we did talk about the shadows, and life-giving energy, which is number 19, which is the sun. And so it does feel like there is, reminds you to shine your light and reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So I feel like that's what this is, that you're going through some sort of transformative energy because you are trying to integrate the shadow, that you are looking at some of your deep-seated wounds. I feel like you will be able to move forward after this into a happier time, a more exciting time after you've healed this Eight of Swords. I feel like you've been in a prison of the mind, reliving things maybe you said or did, and I feel like it's time for you to let yourself off the hook. Tell me more. Just one more card here for Leo. We've got light. It says the fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. Again, we've got light and darkness, right? So it does feel like life energy is going to make you feel lighter. It's time for you to give yourself a break, Leo. Whatever you think you did that caused pain, that you think that maybe an apology is in order, I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, but I think that this shadow energy makes it feel like it's worse. Yeah. I feel like you're transforming or transmuting this all because you're the alchemist, taking all of this this energy hiding in the dark, and you are transforming it. Got the inner child. It says the fairy of playfulness reminds you to make time to embrace your child, your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. Well, I don't know about you, but my son, for sure, who is a Leo, is silly and fun. I'm sure you are too. And tell you what, the Leo energy that you carry is really great with my Sag rising. Leo and Sag are like peas in a pod, man. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it right there. I feel like in the future that you are going to be tempted, but I feel like it's going to be under the sun. So I feel like you're going to be able to see this temptation right up front. And it does feel like you're going to be telling the tale of the alchemist, because I feel like you are transforming, healing, going into your shadow work, becoming a person who doesn't act out of impulse, but someone who acts out of knowing the details and looking over the self, slowing down and making decisions based on practical information, being patient. Yeah, there's a big transformation showing up in your shadow life, I'm going to say. I'm going to leave that right here. Leo, I hope that made some sense to you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. And I will see you guys next week for your next weekly reading. Take care. Bye-bye.